Really excited. I'm looking forward to the opportunity and really enjoyed myself last year. I thought we played really well, but unfortunate in the end. But obviously, ultimately, Irish are the better side. But it's a good group of guys, top group of guys, and I really look forward to leading them and trying to lead by example.
There's a core group here, but there's quite a bit of change as well. How have you kind of bonded during the summer?
Well, because it's a smaller squad this year, we've really sort of worked hard together. We're trying to make sure culture is a good thing, and I think that's a massive thing in a successful team. And we've trained really hard. I think we've raised the tempo from last year, worked harder, probably a bit smarter as well, and I'm looking forward to seeing if that bears results in the games. But I'm excited. I think the boys obviously a bit frustrated about not playing a pre-season game, but at the same time we just crack on against London Scottish and get stuck in.
How hard is that going to be, not having a proper game?
Well, the way we're training, we're sort of replicating games anyway, so it's not too much of an issue. Older guys like myself, we don't mind saving the body for the proper game, so I'm not too worried. But look, if we keep training the way we are, which is pretty intense, then I think we'll be fine. And obviously we're a smaller squad, so we don't want to sort of risk injuries. I can understand why. So it's just part of the parcel. We have to deal with it and crack on.
What kind of style are we going to see from Yorkshire Carnegie this season?
We're definitely going to use the ball, play the ball. We've worked a lot in our attack. At the same time, we want to shore up our defence. I think we showed glimpses of what we can do on our defence last year, but this year we want to have a really tight-knit defence and been working a lot harder on that. We also want to back ourselves. We've done a lot of conditioning this off-season, so hopefully that can bear fruits in the games coming up.
I remember when chatting to you and your brother last season said, you used to like to be a baller down at Southern Hemisphere. It's more physical up here. Are you looking forward to being able to maybe throw it around a bit more?
Absolutely. If we get days like this, then it'd be brilliant. Obviously, English winters doesn't always give you those, so we'll sort of treat every game as it comes and conditions as they come. But we want to play with the ball. We want to play an exciting brand of rugby, so the supporters can come out and watch. So that's our intention. At the same time, you've got to be smart. It's about playing in the right areas, so we'll work on that as well. So it's just a combination of finding that balance of both, and when we do get opportunities, make sure we nail them.
How did you get over the playoff final heartbreak? Was it hard to get over?
It was actually very hard. I found it really hard. I struggled all summer. My wife was sick and tired of me talking about it by the end of it. I think that the first game was frustrating. I think a couple of decisions we know went against us that probably shouldn't have, and we found out, in hindsight, that they were poor decisions. But that's part and parcel. Look, and Irish, they were the better team all year, and they deserved to win. But it was a tough pill to swallow. But we've dealt with it now. We've cracked on with pre-season. Like I said, we've worked really hard, and so we just look forward to, making a statement this season. Everyone's picking Bristol as a team to just go straight back up. And I know being at Newcastle before, it's not that easy. It's a long season. A lot of things happen along the way, so we're just worrying about game at a time, and it's just focusing from there.
The second leg probably summed up Yorkshire Carnegie. You were magnificent at points, but then equally your own worst enemies at others, which kind of let Irish kind of go through in the end. Is that one of the biggest things this year, kind of that discipline, those self-errors to kind of cut out?
I think you look back in those two games, a lot of those errors are for our defence. And I think if we sort that out, we showed our attack, we can tear up any team. That Irish are the best defence in the comp, and we still end up scoring, I don't know, it was 40, 50 odd points over the two games against them. So we know we can attack, we know we've got some dangerous players, but you can do as much attacking as you want. If you can't defend, you're going to struggle to win games. So that's been a big focus, and we've done a lot of work on that. So I look forward to seeing if the results come through against Scottish, but we're certainly confident, and we're looking forward to cracking on.
What is the motivation? What is the aim this season? Obviously the playoffs have now gone. Everyone is looking at Bristol. Ealing spent a lot of money as well. So what's the realistic aims for Yorkshire?
I mean, we haven't really talked about a sort of position as such. Ultimately, we want to win the competition. That's always the way. You don't play to come second, third or fourth. We go to win. But I think with the table the way it is and the way that's sort of a round robin system, you've just got to treat every game as it comes. You've got to build points on that table and just keep working your way up. And if you get in a position where you're up the top or near the top, you stay there and obviously see what happens at the end of the season. So we're just treating it game at a time. We want to build as a squad. Hopefully we're looking to get some more players in as the season goes on. If we can do that and keep building from now, anything's possible. And that's our mindset. Just game at a time, keep working hard as a good squad, and nice strong culture, and see what happens.
Always been expectation on this club when they've been back in the Championship. It might be less this year. Is that something that you can work in your favour?
Yeah, we still set high standards for ourselves in training, and that's the way we're treating it. Look, we know we can beat any team on a day, and that's how we go every game to win, and that's what we'll do every game is look to win. So there's nothing different than that. We'll just play a week at a time otherwise.
And being captain, how much more can you boss your brother about? Are you looking forward to that?
I mean, I boss him around anyway, mate. It's standard anyway. But now, look, I'm just looking forward to leading by example. I don't want to say too much. I just want to get there and play and enjoy my footy. I really enjoyed it last year. I want to enjoy it again, and obviously if we can win, then that's ultimately the way you'll enjoy it most. So that's the plan.
Yeah, have you captained much before?
A little bit, yeah. A decent amount back in New Zealand, but not for a top professional side. I captained Newcastle a couple of times, which I really enjoyed. But it's a different story, and you take a team for the whole season. So I really want to put my foot down and enjoy it and just lead from the front.
You may have touched on it there, but what kind of a captain will you be? Is it all about action rather than words?
Yeah, I like to think so. I don't want the boys to be sick and tired of hearing me all the time. I'd rather just try to play and lead by example than talk too much. So that's the plan. But we'll see how it goes. It gets to the cold winter months, mate. Get a bit frustrated.